Welcome back for Game 2. It's Golden Guardians Academy taking on FlyQuest Academy, Crumses. This is going to be an interesting one. Again, lots of different standing implications today. FlyQuest Academy can make playoffs, but they are not in control, really, of how that all shakes out. As you can see, they're in the standings, currently sitting 7 and 10 in 7th. In order for them to make playoffs, they must win this game, and they must have Team Liquid lose their game as well. So... and also that actually just ties them, which means they have to play a tiebreaker. So there's a lot going on for FlyQuest to try and make it, but they have at least shown potential to be able to do so in some of their games. So maybe, Crumbs, maybe they're the ones that are going to sneak in that final slot.
There is a lot going on, but there's also a lot that Golden Guardians can do to stop things from happening, as if they win here, they'll put an end to that discussion altogether, and we'll have Team Liquid be the 6th place team into playoffs. So this matchup could determine how long we're here for watching some League of Legends.
That's true. This may be, in some ways, the most pivotal game of the day. We'll have to find out. For Golden Guardians Academy, much like CLG Academy, have had a somewhat rough split, especially the back end of their season has been really tough. But they can also play spoiler here. You know, CLG Academy showed what it's like to play, you know, aggressive, like kind of looser, like maybe less pressure-filled League of Legends, and looked pretty good doing it. For Golden Guardians, I think that certainly expected a significantly better season here, and had great moments in the first half, but have not quite been able to put it all together despite the overall strength of this squad. So we'll be looking to show, you know, what they could have been potentially, and look to be strong moving into the next split as well. So one game for them left to play, and for FlyQuest, it's a very important one for them to navigate through, as the bans have already begun. Yumi, Tom Kench, and Senna, who dropped champ select in the last game, Crumbs, going to be FlyQuest's first ban.
Yeah, 10.6, and then not quite as OP, but still really strong. And I do think that Golden Guardians suffered in their academy teams because of the Huhi Keith swap, just having less time with the same players, and if Huhi was deemed to be the better support and he got put into the LCS team, then obviously the academy team will have what their internal staff figured was the weaker support or the better support for academy. So I think that this was a result of them making an extra push for the LCS split, similar to the Acadian and Grigg situation with Dignitas.
Yep. Even Immortals as well with the Aiden swap.
Altic and
yep. And unsurprisingly, all of those academy teams have taken hits, which makes sense. But Kalista, the actual last ban there, so 3 marksman ban on the FlyQuest side, kind of picking on Gorica there, Renekton in the final ban there for GGA, and has become the standard for Zion Spartan. It is set first pick.
And what happened to AD being a weak role?
I don't know.
Right, 3 bans right away. I think these champs are pretty damn strong. But so is the set that you were mentioning last game that now has the Blade of the Ruined King build, so even more % damage built to the set.
Yep. Zion loves it. Every game he just builds it and starts trying to 1v1 people in the side lane. So I imagine we'll see that here, certainly. Owen and Thresh, though, certainly not bad. I do like that JJ is not only playing a champion he's very comfortable on, but is actually taking away one of Keith's more practice champions for a player that is still very new to the role. But Zyra Khan, good enough for the 2v2 here for Golden Guardians. I'll take it in a eerily similar looking draft to the last one we saw from 100 Thieves Blue side at last game.
They copied it homework, just tweak it a little, set for orange, change the
yeah, there you go.
So, Golden Guardians, I mean, why not, right? They're good picks. Honestly, that's something that if you feel like your players are similar to another team's, just start copying their draft, right? If you got split pushing top laners, whatever jungler, utility jungler player, mid laner that has the same champion pool, just copy it and see, oh, whoa, maybe we should take some lessons from 100 Thieves. Hey,
that's how I play. I just take good picks and I copy them. I don't want to have to use my own brain. As MF the final pick in phase 1 there for FlyQuest. LeBlanc going to be the next ban here, so Blaze Olive going to lose a couple champions here.
I like the MF pick here. There's no Braum, no Leona, no major abilities that can be used to just instantly interrupt her, so that could actually prove to be pretty powerful for FlyQuest and Mash getting some damage off.
Yeah, I like it. A bit more aggressive as well, so might see quite a lot of action in the 2v2. Jarvan, though, the ban for GGA up against Fnatic. And FlyQuest with their final ban of their final game of the regular season. Could also be their final game for Academy at all this spring, but that is not up to them. They just must focus on this game and they must win it for at least a shot. Gragas, though, the second ban there away from hard, so pivoting away from mid lane, just wanting to make sure LeBlanc stays out of Ablazeolive's hands.
Yeah, less engaged, less champions with ability to snowball, so making sure that hard has a hard time. But
all right, Syndra, the other ban here. It's funny to see these mid laners ban blind mid laners against each other.
And it's always the ones that are just so good to blind too, which makes it so that whatever they pick is easier to abuse.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, they ban LeBlanc being like, well, we want to counterpick you, so we don't want you to take LeBlanc, who we think is maybe one of the better or best mid lane blind picks. And then Golden Guardian's like, we don't want you to pick mid now and take away a good pick, so we're going to ban Syndra. And then, of course, gives the counterpick back, which I imagine was the plan all along for FlyQuest anyway. But Rek'Sai is where we fall for the jungle on the Fnatic side here, which was going to be one of the picks we expected for hard as well. So certainly a pinch there for the jungle side. We'll see how Golden Guardians do want to round out their draft. Olaf on the menu, Lee Sin always available. Oh, Zoe's up. Why did this happen?
Zoe Olaf would be pretty good.
I was about to say, like, all the blind pick mid laners are gone, and then Zoe's still left up, so I take it back.
Yeah.
The best one's still available.
And really good against Syndra, too, so I think it was just trying to get triple off of comfort.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. I wonder if Triple has a specific pick here in mind, because, I mean, I forgot Zoe, but there's no way he forgot Zoe, as Olaf is the last jungler there as well. Makes sense given Lee Sin's somewhat tricky matchup. 1v1 versus Rek'Sai.
It's a free matchup against Rek'Sai. Such an easy matchup for Olaf. The only option that Rek'Sai has to outplay him is using her ultimate to buy time if Olaf overextends in the team fight against her. Other than that, he should have an easy time running over her. Same thing with Thresh and Ornn. But the Lissandra pick tells us that FlyQuest is going to be all about 2v2ing because Rek'Sai Lissandra is one of the nastiest 2v2s you could have because both can dash over walls and instantly engage on you. So the double cleanse respect from Golden Guardians acknowledges it.
Yeah, I like this 2v2 in general. Is curious to see something a little less. I mean, Lissandra does do decent damage, especially with that passive change now a very long time ago. But I think FlyQuest is going to have to get a lot done with the utility they've kind of have for all these picks. And Mash is going to maybe be left with the job of being pretty spot on with how he positions and uses his ultimates as MF. So kind of a curious comp there for FlyQuest Academy, but I think very solid and very reactive, which makes sense as a red side draft. So Lissandra, champion you wanted to see last game. Crumbs don't have it here versus LeBlanc, but I think does also make sense against Zoe for similar reasons.
Yeah, but you're also spot on about you need to get something going on with these champions. You don't want to hit a mid game where you're equal into a team fight. You want to have summoner advantage. You want to have a lot of kills going so that Lissandra starts to feel oppressive. There is a threshold where she's not going to have enough damage to burst anybody on the enemy team. And once that happens, if it does, she's really tough to come back from because the QSSs comes out. We already have 2 cleanses and an Ola. Targets to go for are scarce. Or scarce.
Yeah, it seems like they might be running out of targets in maybe a too short amount of time. We'll see. Again, Zoe's been so strong in mid lane. I'm curious to see at least if Lissandra can make a dent in her power. Once again, though, with Champion Select complete, we are now heading to a 5-minute commercial break to preserve competitive integrity by adding a delay to the game. So we'll meet you right here for Game 2 after this. Welcome back. We're about to get ourselves in the mix for Golden Guardians Academy for FlyQuest Academy. As a reminder, the 5-minute break we had is to build up 5 minutes of delay to preserve competitive integrity while we are broadcasting the league online. But Crumbs, it is time for more league action. Golden Guardians and FlyQuest, as Golden Guardians are trying to spoil FlyQuest Academy's playoff chances here in their final game of the season.
5 minutes of delay or 5 minutes to build suspense, because we don't know yet if FlyQuest is going to still be in the matchup as they are playing for their lives, and it's going to be tough because Golden Guardians has actually drafted some pretty serious firepower here with champions that are almost usually in the ban table in some matches, whether it's the Zoe that was banned last game, the Sets that continue to be first picked, or Zaya Rakan that is a tried and true bottom lane for a lot of players that just need to revert back to comfort.
Yeah, certainly have to see. For FlyQuest, it's been an awfully up and down split for them. But certainly when they have looked good, everyone has just been firing on all cylinders, particularly the top side of the map. And we will certainly be looking at Fnatic and Triple this game to be pretty impactful, especially around that mid game, wanting to get out of the lane, use the teleport that Triple does have, and just try and influence other areas of the map, because that is, when you draft something like Lissandra Rek'Sai, you are basically, you know, inviting yourself to every side lane and every skirmish you can think of.
And when you have Olaf, you're also inviting a lot of level 1 action, which is what Golden Guardians is going for here. The shenanigans, taking advantage of the sweeper. Let's see what Rek'Sai does. She has to just leave and abandon this side. Try not to get 3-buffed.
Yep, gonna immediately leave, which I think is the smart move, as you mentioned. Mid lane is a locked dueling for CS, so nothing gonna happen there. And Revenge might be trying to deny the wave a little bit more, but Set's gonna make it in time, and Revenge is not taking a CS yet, so he's clearly trying to deny a couple out of the wave. But as we can see, it doesn't look like Zion's gonna miss any, although it does just miss one. So all in all, a very effective invade. In fact, Hard will even continue on after the Raptors to the red buff, so going to be full on splitting the map for this jungle. It's a great double play there from JJ, going to find Keith and Gorica. Aftershock proccing there for a bit of extra damage out of the Thresh, but Mash actually just took too many bullets.
Yeah, this invade can actually get really serious if the bot lane continues to play aggro as they are, because the wave is crashing, so JJ and Mash can't collapse, and same thing with mid lane. So this was a very thought out plan, because now Rek'Sai can't go invade. Where does Rek'Sai go at this point? She's at the bottom quadrant of the map. Olaf is already in his red side, who can full clear, and Rek'Sai is not even level 3, so an opportunity for a gank isn't there. Her own red side jungle is not available because Olaf counter jungled it. This is Fnatic in a really tough spot. If he can find something here, this will be a really signature moment for him.
Yep, got watered out as well by the pushing dual lane. Great hook there for JJ, but just a bit of extra damage there from the auto attack onto Keith. Crab is coming up. That's probably the thing that Fnatic can grab, although it is now level 3. But like you said, really has nothing to take away here, and looks like Hard even left a little bit of little message at the Raptor camp as one of them was left alive, because it has not respawned yet. And Fnatic, you know, correctly has not even gone back over to that side because he knows that it was basically all taken away. So really rough stuff for Fnatic early on as Hard finishes full clearing his red side. Fnatic finally enters this side of the jungle, but gonna get all the bad news that anything he could have possibly taken is gone.
Oh no, the poor Rek'Sai going in there, and this is where we wish we had face cams and you could see the face of Rek'Sai going into the Raptor camp, like, oh, yep, this side is also gone.
Yep, and again, Hard now going to clear out the rest of the jungle. Might even go straight for this crab here and try and at least get some vision in case Fnatic does feel like going for an invade. Fnatic finally will get the bad news at 4 minutes into the game that the Raptor camp isn't even respawning and does at least have the Krugs. But that's all that Fnatic has right now, because Hard is going to take this crab away as well. So a very well thought out level 1, as you mentioned, but brutal for Fnatic here in the early game.
Yeah, and this also yields another blue buff to Olaf, because he didn't complete that first route with blue, so he actually has it now for the second clear, which could make his power creep really fast to the point where he's going to be able to just solo out the dragon at the end of this route, because it finishes right there, right? You're starting top side jungle, finishing the bottom side clear that you've so gracefully set up for yourself.
Yep, probably going to go back to that Raptor camp and start cycling those camps. This is finishing off the wolves right now. That does mean the lanes are left out to kind of, have be to their own devices, but for Zion, that's been just fine. A little bit behind Revenge on CS, but punching away happily there. And Fnatic will also be on board that Zion placed in that bush, so continuing to get tracked here in the early game.
Bad luck there playing Rek'Sai. That's such a curious ward to place and one to actually find Rek'Sai in. And that's because he knows that there's actually nowhere else for Rek'Sai to go to, right? She's not going to be in the blue side. They know the timing of those camps. And it's a timing that Olaf is taking advantage of. Oh, no.
Has Keith up here as well. Fnatic's like, please get out of my jungle. Hard's like, absolutely not. And he's going to even leave the small one for Fnatic to deal with himself. Hard with the blue buff. And now in a 1v3, he's going to get rooted up. The hook is good. And finally, the punish comes out as JJ will score first blood.
Get out of my jungle. Finally, they clear him. But, man, he's playing really aggressive. I would have loved to see either Keith and Gorica stay and assist him or them back, because that's what that looked like. The bot lane was back up and Hard wanted to go for the play, right? He took the number, he knew that the counter buff or the counter jungling opportunity was there, but he felt like he needed to go for it over having the support of his team, and now he actually lost the objective.
Yeah, I mean, that Drake will go over to Fly, so despite the 20, CS difference between Fnatic and Hard, gold lead is nice and even from that first kill, and Infernal Drake is nice as well for Fly's early game. So the plan almost looks perfect. Works out pretty well, but not quite there, as Revenge does ding level 6, but they are still going to go for this dive. Facebreaker there. Revenge does have the ulti, but again, it can be tough to use, and just going to get showstopper there. Oh, he gets the knock-up at the end of it all, but Zion Spartan flashes his way through, and it will at least be a trade. A very nice dive, but Revenge did everything correctly to get that trade.
Rek'Sai and Lissandra are on the way just in case Olaf stays, and while the dive gets the kill, look at who's picking up all the CS. Fnatic actually is just going to casually grab everything he needs to stay relevant to the Olaf, which kudos to him and Seth for recognizing that there was an opportunity to dive Revenge. Unfortunately, he dinged the level and got a little bit tankier, but they still got the kill.
Yeah, landed up really nicely there as Hard's counter-jungling adventure continues as he sweeps out Vision in the river and takes the third crab of the game away. Again, can also clear maybe more of Fnatic's jungle, actually, as Zoe is going to roam up to that side of the map. Gorica and Keith pushing JJ and Mash in, so plenty of control here still for Golden Guardians Academy, and Hard will have to back off. Does take the blast plant out of the enemy jungle, but back to top lane actually as Revenge might be in more trouble. Ooh, ulti though ready for the on. Hard does have Ragnarok, but Zion can only Facebreaker, and good W there from Revenge to prevent himself from getting CC.
Well played there by the Orange, because now he knows he actually has to respect these two. He's not an unkillable tank that can do whatever he wants in the top lane.
Not yet, at least. Certainly Orange feels like he gets that spot. What a great bubble there from a Blaze Olive. Follow up there onto Triple for a good bit of poke. Is going to be that Proto Belt first for Triple, which is basically the standard Lissandra item, or first Lissandra item.
Yeah, this matchup
Blaze Olive
is going to start to get really tricky there in the mid lane, because the range and mana from a Blaze Olive is going to allow him to clear the wave and create a good path against Lissandra, who has to stay next to it to get the most out of her passive and her, the passive aspect of her Q.
Yeah, has at least been, has actually been pushing pretty much all game. It's one of the reasons that Golden Guardians have felt so confident to invade as often as they have with a jungler. And that does look like with a 10 CS lead there for Blaze Olive that things are looking good right now. In fact, top lane is going to continue to get attention here as Gorica and Keith do some jungling of their own, because as it turns out, Hard was never revisiting those Krugs, it felt like. Instead, it is the Rift Herald taken and actually going to try and break this tower. Revenge getting in there, but the Rift Herald charge should take this tower out. Now they got to be careful. Showstopper onto Revenge, actually, I think, but through the W, made it look a little funny, but still the follow-up is there. Blaze Olive with the slowdown. The Ragnarok is there. The flash is good and can't quite chase as JJ's up here as well. So Zion Spartan will finish off the plates and finish off the tower. Good Drowsy there onto the Thresh, but they now have to chase their way around. Triple who's looking for the play, but good flash there for a Blaze Olive, gets himself out, and 5 members of FlyQuest here, but everyone from GGA has already walked out.
Wow, what a commitment from them, but they're losing plates in the bottom lane, and they need to get something out of this, and it's not going to be a Herald play. So FlyQuest feeling maybe the pressure that Golden Guardians is putting right now. At least the TP will save them some CS, but that teleport is going to create a discrepancy next time Zion and Revenge lane against each other.
Yeah, kind of hemorrhaging resources at this point for FlyQuest. Burning the TP, losing the kill on top side, losing the tower. Zion, 1v2, he's just going at it. JJ pulled back in and receives a bit of poke there from the Haymaker. But I mean, Zion not afraid. He has so much money to spend as well, I have to think, with all those kind of basic looking items in the inventory. So gonna go back. It is of course gonna be that Blade of the Ruined King first, and has that Bilgewater Cutlass and the recurve bow now at the ready as he TPs back to bottom lane actually. Hello!
He wants to fight.
See you there, Zion.
He wants to start laning as soon as possible. I guess that's the power of the Blade of the Ruined King now. You are pretty much immovable in lane. Right? You never have to leave. You don't have mana. You don't have healing problems. If you get low, you're obviously going to be back to full HP in a matter of one wave. So this is the beginning of him keeping pressure with Revenge, and every little bit of trade that he can do against a no regen Olaf or Ornn will stick and probably yield some more plates, because this game is still 11 minutes in.
Yeah, true. I mean, a good early lead here for Golden Guardians. The Blazehold continues to be accurate with the skill shots, but really this Drake is the next big point of contention. Zion again going to try and keep Revenge out of the area. Good hook there for JJ. Into the box we go. Keith though dashes out. And that is the ultimate committed there for Mash. So bullet time down for this next fight. And I think Golden Guardians will jump at the opportunity to take this Drake now. That's
their cue. Free dragon right there. They didn't even have to do anything, actually. They didn't burn a single thing for this free prize, and there's no one on Fly's side for the top lane turret. That needed to be a bigger commitment, because you were kind of looking for the pick, so either Fnatic needs to also go in with the hook, or more needs to happen, or just to play not in general, because clearly that's not how you have to go for that, right? Like, get the kill and then prevent the objective, not burn summoners, lose the objective.
Yeah, again, I mean, I hate to harp on Zoe, but FlyQuest just was trucking bubbles. There's no vision for Fly. Couldn't really enter the area safely with all the threat, and just did a really nice job getting some summoners. I mean, the attempt was nice on Keith. I guess they did go for the play, but Keith was just out of there. I mean, did not lay the CC well enough, or just didn't have enough to lock down the Rakan. You know, we usually see something like a Leona have to commit a bunch of spells to lock down Zyra and Rakan, and Thresh just doesn't quite have the same length of CC available to him. So whatever it was, Keith was able to get out. They got the cooldowns and just swooped back in for the Drake they already had control over, as Golden Guardians continue to grow their lead up to about 3,000 or so now, as the Blaze Olive goes ahead and gets the blue buff.
I think it's because Rek'Sai was not expecting the Olaf to do what he's been doing, who put her so far behind. The pick was really powerful, and she's normally the star of the Lissandra Rek'Sai show. Rek'Sai kind of leading in, being aggressive, dashing in, Lissandra to follow up with a big burst, but with Rek'Sai being behind, he's not going to go in, and Rakan does it instead.
Okay, double knockup, and the charm finds two. JJ and Triple going to get out of there, as the bullet time is back to cover the exit, as Mash will make sure his teammates stay alive. But the pressure continuing here again. Zion, he pops the Blade of the Ruined King. He's on to Revenge. What a showstopper. Tries to interrupt the dash and will force the flash. Zion Spartan getting it done in the 1v1.
He's got the blade completed. Revenge has to respect that he's going to run him down every time, and now Hard can actually go back to the lane, because they still have pressure to dive this Ornn. In fact, these two will have pressure to dive Ornn all game long. It's what true damage lets you do.
Yeah, Blaze Olive playing pretty brazen there in the mid lane, but had a spare flash that he picked up off the ground, so wasn't feeling too unsafe, and now just going to continue smashing waves into the mid-outer tower. Game is certainly still in a decent spot for FlyQuest Academy if they're holding the game at an okay place, but we have that next Drake to think about in 2.5 minutes, and these outer towers in bot and mid are getting kind of scarily low, especially with that next Herald spawning up in a few moments. So it looks like Golden Guardians already going to move their way over to this side of the map to try and grab that, and then it should be very easy for them to open up this game. And at that point, with FlyQuest having no towers potentially, much tougher to kind of push back and find space for you to make your own plays, because right now it just feels like FlyQuest have dictated the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Had the pace of the game dictated to them.
FlyQuest is holding, but they are sweating, and that sweat will turn into a slip if they're not careful, because 1v1 top is losing. Mid lane, Ablaze Olive has the pressure, and Mash keeps having to use his ultimate defensively. Twice they're not able to get anything from the bullet time, which is your main source of damage in this comp, right? We looked at this in the draft thinking the utility will have to get ahead and get Mash to a position where he can be really impactful. That hasn't happened yet, but now with all 5 ultimates available, this might be the time for FlyQuest to get the fight they're looking for.
So, all 5 for Fly here and no TP for Darshan, so FlyQuest will actually take this second Herald away. They do lose the bottom outer tower as a result. Again, leaving Zion in the side lane means that you will lose structures. In fact, maybe even going to be another one here as he's smashing down this bottom lane tier 2. Doesn't have Demolish back up yet, but just a couple more punches needed, and that's going to be enough. Zion Spartan gets 2 towers that are a very tough trade for FlyQuest.
That wouldn't have happened if this wasn't Blade of the Ruined King set. If it was normal build set, whether it's Trinity Force or whatever thing people are going, it will actually keep the turret alive. But because this split pushing change to Blade of the Ruined King has spread to every single top laner, now it feels like maybe Ornn is not as strong as we could have thought because he doesn't have that option, and so he's not going to have pressure against these top laners that will just stay in the lane and push constantly without caring about a team fight.
Yeah, this is certainly a change that Zion Spartan has been embraced fully. You know, set a very good champion, so continuing to pick it when it's available, but he's trying to jam Blade the Ruined King on just about anything, you'd have to think, and it will be, I assume, the Black Cleaver follow-up, which has been the most common for him building this particular vein of set. Push in the mid lane, though, here is Golden Guardian trying to finish off the final outer tower that is up. Still 3 towers to 0, thanks to Zion Spartan's heroics in the bot lane, but it looks like a Drake first up here. They will take the first of the Soul Drakes here, this first cloud away, as Triple at least going to get a tower answered back here in the top lane. Does demolish down the top out of there.
Fnatic's just hanging back, trying not to show, just on the off chance that somebody on Golden Guardians is trying to match the Lissandra. It's a good look, but who are you actually going to catch out here? Because unless Zion Spartan is the target that answers, and even he might not be squishy enough to go down to this combo, there isn't really anybody that Fnatic can team up with Lissandra to take down in the side lane. So it feels like maybe Rek'Sai can be looking with more members or just in a different lane, because whoever matches Lissandra will have tools to deal with her combo.
Yeah, and 1v1 Blaze Olive not really been tested and doesn't feel too threatened. Again, still hasn't had to use that cleanse throughout this whole game. He's a little bit down on CS right now, so Triple actually doing a good job finding farm, you know, post 15 here as the laning phase breaks down a bit.
I think that's a good cleanse, kind of like a seatbelt, right? A good seatbelt, you would hope you never have to test it. Same thing with cleanse. You hope you never have to test it.
That's true. It doesn't work automatically. Seatbelts do, I guess, which is where the comparison starts to break down. But the cleanse, if you never have to use it, you're right. You're a perfect cleanse user, right? Because definitely seen some people mess up timing on cleanses and QSSs since League's inception, basically. So
the fear of your CC being cleansed right away is what keeps you safe.
Well, safe certainly it has been for Zoe. As FlyQuest getting some traction here around the mid lane. That is probably the most important area for them to try and crack through if they can. As a reminder, Fnatic does have that Rift Herald still, but does need to get a move on and try and figure out a place to drop the Herald.
Mid lane is the best place right now because it's the safest for them. They still have their own mid lane turret, which would give them a safe place to retreat to if Golden Guardians gets an engage off there. And that might be what they have to go for, because there's no way you're popping this in the bottom lane. And there it goes, mid lane 5v5.
Yep, this is also where they would want to drop it the most. So lane pushed in, pressure will be applied, and Darshan still in that side lane. The charge will come off here, but maybe not enough to actually take it fully down. Just some damage done, but a good defense there. 4v5 actually for Golden Guardians Academy, although Zion Spartan now swoops into the mid lane with a massive wave pushing down towards the inhibitor tower now in bottom lane. See if FlyQuest peel off and now give Golden Guardians the opportunity to counter push down this tower in mid.
I think once they siege, FlyQuest quickly realized the range disadvantage this composition has, and they're going for another engage.
Zion Spartan going to be the target. Tower hitting him as well, but Haymaker's massive, good flash out. Zion is going to live it. Here comes Triple, going to lock up Gorica. Very well played. Flash couldn't even be used there as JG going to get answered back on. Not quite, as a Blaze Olive didn't have enough to get the kill. Triple was an amazing TP flank there, though. Finally going to give FlyQuest a win in a fight.
Yeah, really caught Gorica by surprise there. It felt like FlyQuest was all about the engage with Thresh, but then Lissandra came in at the end to clean up the area.
Oh! What a move there for a Blaze Olive, but not enough as Triple on a rampage. Getting the shutdown there onto the Zoe. I love the angle, the aggression that a Blaze Olive took to try and get that kill onto Mash, but was not to be, and Golden Guardians getting punished for a bit of that aggression. Now Triple gonna get pulled back in. There's the Dunkaroonie onto the Lantern though, but can't click it. JJ getting covered as 3 champions smother that lamp, and Golden Guardians get an answer back.
The Blade of the Ruin kick actually was the reason why they got the kill. The slow active pulled the Rue at the end, so Triple, who had a spree from those 2 really clutch kills, now gives his life away at a pretty crucial time, as there's this minute to be used for setting up vision around the next dragon, which will put Golden Guardians at soul point.
Yep, again, another Cloud Soul, which Olaf certainly will not complain about. It's going to be a very zippy Olaf in these team fights.
Or Rakan, Zaya, when she pops it, she can move really fast.
Yeah, it's like old Nimbus Cloak, you know? Which turns out was a pretty good rune. So, teams will be happy to grab it here. 30 seconds now to that Cloud Drake, and Golden Guardians Academy well set up here. Not that much vision for either side, but certainly no vision for FlyQuest Academy is going to make this a pretty tough contest. And with the mid lane tower being dropped, the pressure still in the side lanes from Zion Spartan.
And unfortunately, this draft doesn't give them the option to trade a Baron. They don't have damage to go for it. Even if they set up the vision, Golden Guardians could give them 20 seconds worth of time, and they still wouldn't be close to actually securing vision and cracking down the objectives. So they don't have to send any vision to the Baron. They just know that FlyQuest is that far behind.
Yep, right now they can just see that the tier 2 in top lane is the only threat right now, as Triple and Fnatic are continuing to play together and try and siege down a tower or 2. The rest of FlyQuest, though, are on this side of the map. The Soul Drake will be the one contested by Fly there. Is a good ulti, but Keith is back in there trying to get it done. Gets knocked up, though, and Fnatic dips under the ground to get the kill onto a Blaze Olive, as Golden Guardian's going to get Keith hooked, and that's a second kill now for FlyQuest. The jungler, though, dead on their side, as Hard did get that kill. So not a bad trade overall.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want to see out of FlyQuest. Staying with the initiative. If you lose the initiative, you've already lost the war. And they used both dashes, which is the whole bread and butter of the Lissandra Rek'Sai combo, to actually get the pick on a target that had cleansed down. So they actually timed those summoners well. And if they had continued to do that from the 10-minute mark, this might be a very different game. But the fact that it still works now should give them hope that a few more of those and this game could be their own.
Yeah, 23 minutes through and only 2,500 gold ahead or so for Golden Guardians. So certainly still in it for FlyQuest. We'll see if they continue to, play with that initiative. Also kind of fun to see Hard's inventory. I almost feel like Crumbs that we're going to get the full rainbow of lifesteal items today, because that is a Death Dance Olaf after that Cinderhawk. So something a bit different, but I like it. Very bruisery, which fits Olaf. Is kind of a juggernaut. Triple will get himself away in mid.
Yeah, it's the new Death Dance, right? Building now out of the Aegis, your Lifesteal, and Warhammer. So it pretty much gives Olaf everything he ever wants. So it is a pretty perfect item for him, and he is running approach velocity, so the movement speed you're missing out from the Phage of Cleaver is made up from your runes. Curious to see how well this does in a team fight, though.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. So again, those Cloud Drakes feeling nice, as Hard as getting that vision cleared out from Fly's red side jungle, as Baron is going to be next on the menu. 2 items there for both ADs, actually. Mash also has a bonus Executioner's Calling, which will help against Zion in particular. So also Hard as well with the W active.
This is all Golden Guardians needs to do. Just keep clearing out vision here, and eventually somebody will face check. You can hit a Zoe bubble, and you have enough time that even if you die, you'll be able to set up for the dragon later. and it revolves around keeping a control ward in the pit. That's really the bread and butter, and clearing out flies was that start.
Yeah, like the Golden Guardians aren't rushing things again. No, they have the lead, feeling confident in how the composition is supposed to be playing here in this mid game. It does mean that the game is, you know, going to be a bit closer, maybe, at least if Golden Guardians misstep. Could be tough stuff, but again, FlyQuest certainly the one still pressed to continue the action. Yeah, with that Soul Drake looming at this point.
They have the pressure too, right? They have way more to play for here. Even though it's not their own fate, you still don't want to go out like that. You want to go out giving it your all, having the win, and then you can say, it wasn't meant to be, not we didn't deliver our part.
Yeah, you don't even get a chance if they don't win this game here, right? So certainly still the playoffs not in their own hands fully, but they need to do step one, which is win this game against Golden Guardians Academy to at least have a shot. Good hook there. Ragnarok out though for hard. So JJ, very efficient use of that Q. Gets a cooldown nice and easy.
Pretty big cooldown there for the setup here. So if FlyQuest can get a fight before the dragon and rather for the setup, catching out Olaf without his ultimate will be all you need for the objective. There would be no smite after that, and Fnatic could easily stall out the soul point. So if JJ can keep an eye on hard, it could actually be the pick they need.
Yeah, gold lead's continuing to shrink as well. Nice job from Revenge, just taking down that bottom outer, giving them a little bit more space for this Soul Drake contest that they'll need to do in 45 seconds. Have not seen Darshan in the side lanes nearly as much, and I think FlyQuest's aggression is kind of, you know, reminding them of the threat of like, hey, if we see you in a side lane again, we are going to 5v4 your team. So Zion has been playing very close to his teammates. He doesn't have TP back up for a little while longer, but we'll have it soon. We haven't seen that pressure that was very effective for Golden Guardians in the early stages of the mid game, although they at least forced Triple's E out and again moved themselves back around the Drake with almost all the vision. It's just that speed train which they can no longer get, that is giving FlyQuest information around this very critical objective.
The shrine at least says no one is soloing it, which gives FlyQuest hope that they can continue to fight around the mid lane. The Sandra's coming around. Here we go.
Deep TP from Triple all the way into the enemy red side. Zion Spartan though in there with alongside Keith. It's going to be a 2v5, but that's way too far forward as Gorica on the match. Actually, a beautiful flank there from the AD with the knockup, and the ulti is going to get the kill there for Fnatic, but Hard is going to chase down Triple alongside a Blaze Olive in a very, very messy fight. Results in a 1v2 win for Golden Guardian.
It looks like we had 2, maybe even 3 fights breaking out there.
Yeah. Quite a few as the Blaze Olive tries to find the follow-up, but the bubble does not connect with additional pokes. Still, Golden Guardians will get what they really wanted, which was enough time to take down the objective as they do collect the Soul Drake for themselves. So pretty wild, very broken up team fight.
Yeah, and so I think what it was, Triple got a really nice TP flank, and he wanted to commit to the angle that he got, so he went in really deep. But Golden Guardians, in response to the TP, overcommits to their own engage. So that overcommitment was them flashing and using everything to try to catch out Mash, which resulted in Gorica flashing over for it. So I think what FlyQuest had to do was had Triple pull out of the engage and recognize that Golden Guardians had overextended in the counter engage, and that was the opportunity for using their CCM bullet time, which almost worked in keeping Mash alive.
Yeah, actually incredible that Gorica, I think, was the only one that died on the Golden Guardian side, given how deep Keith and Zion went. But it is also nice to see, oh, that's just a beautiful bubble, isn't it? Keith looking for it. Oh, good attempt, but Fnatic gets out of there. Now the TP in the cleanse there for Zoe to continue the pressure. Kind of just corralling them here as Hard and Triple fighting, and Triple's winning pretty easily. Keith again running around. Revenge going to be okay with the W there through the bubble, but the rest of Golden Guardians are chasing, trying to get a kill happening here. Revenge going to be the target. They'll eventually wear him down. Here's the ulti out of the on. Goes Sleepy again. Does miss it. And the ulti not connecting with Zion Spartan. Is just running in there, and that haymaker did so much damage to JJ as they finally slay the on as Keith finds the Q there to take down JJ. I mean, Triple has finally been left alone, but 2 members of FlyQuest already dead with the Baron up and available. This looks messy as Hard flashes in. He wants Fnatic. That's the last piece they need to get this objective. Fnatic will fall.
They still have more.
Oh my god. Zion, he's not done. Mash, see you later. Zion Spartan chasing down everybody on the map. And Triple The only one left alone will be the only one left alive, as Golden Guardians will take this Baron as well.
They were so fast with that Cloud Soul, so when FlyQuest corralled themselves into a corner against a Zoe and a Cloud Drake team that can collapse against you out of nowhere, it was a matter of time until Golden Guardians just wiped the floor with them. And it was pretty funny to watch Mash just be escorted around as everybody was trying to get a stun onto him so that he couldn't get bullet time off. And ultimately, that is exactly what happened.
You know, just like, you know, Golden Guardians is putting up the little, you know, security barriers around the area, you know?
No,
when you're waiting in
don't
line.
touch him, don't touch him.
Yeah, you can't go around this way, and then just ended up on the wrong side of the map. And with a rampaging Golden Guardians chasing after them, they find almost every single kill, and most importantly, the Baron. So Golden Guardians gonna move into upset FlyQuest season. FlyQuest have to hold on for dear life for the upcoming siege, but with the power they've built up, with the gold lead they've now accrued up to about 6,000 gold, and this buff wailing away at their towers, don't think anyone can avoid the incoming siege. FlyQuest going to have to play this very carefully.
It feels unavoidable because the itemizations from Golden Guardian have been built to answer the playmaking power that FlyQuest could use to make a comeback. There is now a QSS on Gorica on top of the cleanse that Ablaze Olive has, coupled with the stopwatch and stone plate from Zion Spartan. So those looks on picks don't exist anymore. There isn't really anybody that you can actually catch out without the rest of the team answering.
Oh, there's the stopwatch you mentioned. The Blaze Olive maybe going to be the pick here. Good ulti there from Mash, and there's the shutdown on the Zoe. But Zion Spartan is diving into the enemy team, trying to take him out. Fnatic's already dead. Triple again in a 1v2 that he cannot win and will fall down, but he does make it close to Zion Spartan, trying to get out of there. No grip built up. Will mean a kill over for revenge. But Gorica is still going at it. The Baron buff is still there. 2v3, but FlyQuest not feeling that confident they can win that fight.
Yeah, it's 2v3, but Gorica is just so powerful there, and with the super minions, Misfortune can't really close the gap. And just as I was saying that it was going to be really tough to get a pick without a trade back, FlyQuest find exactly a few kills that's just enough to stall out the Baron push.
Yep, JJ continues to find great hooks in this game on the Thresh. Golden Guardians maybe getting a little too aggressive despite the very big lead they've built for themselves. So losing Baron on quite a few members. We'll see if they can actually break some of these inhibitor towers here. Wave's going to make it close, but Revenge should be able to stop that cannon from doing the rest of that push. And Hard is going to go ahead and take a recall and actually finish off his next item, most likely. It is going to be that Black Cleaver, which is now done. So we're still there looking for that Phage item, Crumbs. Just took a delay for that new Death Dance.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how this build plays out. This is kind of what people were going for when Yuumi and Soraka was all about. You go Cinder Hulk into Black Cleaver. I expect the exact same thing with Death Stance. I mean, this is the same kind of style, just heavy sustain, get in there, built to deal with champions like Ornn and Rek'Sai that will do a little bit of burst, and then that's it. When you have that extra sustain, you'll always stay topped off.
Yep, again, don't have the support, kind of healing you and making you, a really big carry threat, but, kind of doing it solo with the Death Dance. I do like to hear from Olaf as Elder Dragon going to be lined up yet again. Pretty wild that we've had two different games that might be relatively fast go to Elder Dragon, but 15 seconds or so until the buff is ready and available, and FlyQuest probably going to have to pick a fight because I don't think they're going to live through the next siege if the Elder Dragon goes the way of Golden Guardians Academy.
They know that's what they have to do. Triple has been chilling in that brush for a while.
Another great knock up there for Keith. Finds three. JJ in the front side is Hard just running down Mash. He doesn't care if he gives his own life away, and he will do so, but Hard's still alive for a little while longer. He isn't going to live through the rest of it all. He dove straight into the enemy team to get them all down, but the second kill is picked off. Make it a 4v3, with no jungler on Golden Guardian side, but they don't need one. They're going for the base right now, Crumbs. They cracked mid and the inhib.
I don't think Mash was too stoked to be Misfortune in that case.
Nope.
Having not much of a choice, but that all started from a really good pick from Golden Guardians, finding the bubble onto the Ornn, which was then followed up with a crazy flash quickness from Keith. I think it was 3-man and even a 3-man knockup too, which was how Mash ended up face to face with Hard Zola.
The only challenge here might be that Fnatic is coming in with a smite. Ooh, good hook, good cleanse. Keith also here running interference, and Zion Spartan gonna show stop the jungler out of there. Blaze Olive just blows up JJ's Fnatic. Now gonna be the next target, and the Elder Dragon was a bait all along as Fnatic has to get himself out of there. He's dead though as Gorica gets the final feather for the kill. Keith low, but triple snapping over the wall with the path, trying to make something happen. The Featherstorm out. A good Zhonya so out of triple to keep himself alive for a little while longer, but Gorica able to find the flash over the wall. Now Keith dancing back around again. Triple doing everything he can. A second stasis gets the shutdown. But Zion's still fighting. He's getting himself execution calling. My goodness, that Haymaker just did way too much work in Zion. He's out of there. Revenge is dead, and that's a full-on ace, and that will be game. FlyQuest season will end at the hand of Golden Guardians Academy.
Oh man, what a fight, and the mechanical outplays that we just saw. Gorica's ultimate dodged Lissandra's ultimate there. It's a projectile, and his R got away from it, which actually made a really big difference, as the QSS would have had to be quick.
Great patience there to get the kill onto JJ just for a bit of extra style at the end of it all. Again, the showstopper blasting him out of there as a Blazer is going to pick up the ace. And that'll be it for both these teams. They are done as Golden Guardians Academy will take their final Nexus of Academy Spring.
It's a bittersweet moment as both teams will not be in playoffs. Golden Guardians will now have a partner in crime to spend the offseason with practicing.
Yep, they'll hang out. And of course, congratulations to Team Liquid, who have now made playoffs, I believe, with FlyQuest losing this game. That was one of the many requirements FlyQuest were under in order to make playoffs. But Golden Guardian's gonna at least pick up a win at the end of the day, which I wonder if will be the theme of the rest of the day, Crumbs. The teams that are out of contention beating the teams that are still in. Although that one probably hurts the most, because for FlyQuest, that was the only way they were going to make playoffs, is if they won. And even then, they would have to have more things go their way. But alas, it was not to be. It is Zoe and the rest of the Golden Guardians just showing off in that final game.
I think it might be the way. The times are telling, and a lot of the teams that have had the rest of the season to reflect on what they needed to improve, and now that the pressure's been lifted off, they can use all that reflection to create a game plan and just throw it against the wall because you don't even care if it works, is exactly the most dangerous opponent that a lot of these teams are facing as they gear to playoffs.
Well, it's 2-0 on upset wins today, Crumbs, but we are going to be stepping away to set up our next matchup, which will be Dignitas versus TSM Academy, with those playoff seeds kind of hanging in the balance. Don't go anywhere.